Many people believe that inner peace is a myth. Hmm. Maybe that is because in the actual world, there is too much noise around for one to meditate or engage in activities that modern media advocates for when seeking peace. They all seem like a luxury we cannot afford to spare time for. We're in a hurry to achieve it after all. Yet, if we're not deliberate about discovering tranquility, we risk being swallowed up by the busyness of life. If we're not active enough to bring enough peace into our world where fast is the order of the day and patience is scarce, we're not becoming vulnerable, or are we becoming vulnerable to the frustrations and the stress that modern life gives us? So, with that being said, here are 7 doable tips to help you gain peace through self reflection. For the best strategies and tips on finally living the life of your dreams with the least resistance through making the right tweaks to your mindset and daily habits, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get my latest uploads every week. So let's start with tip number 1. Make peace your greatest ally. Peace is the greatest response we can have to situations that put pressure on us. It is the way we maintain sanity amidst the chaos. See, through peace, we bring calm to circumstances that will call for frustration. Unfortunately, our external environment that confronts us today is too chaotic to bring peace without participation from within us. When you turn on the news, the headlines don't encourage any sense of calm and peace and serenity, right? Neither does social media with its superficiality. Add the stress of the different workspaces we're part of and the inevitable crashes with the well intending loved ones, and you realize that there is little hope for peace to come from outside of yourself. So make peace your greatest ally. Number 2, learn to be your own sense of peace, your own source of peace, right? We are our own source of peace because we can create it from within, okay, and maintain it from within. While we have external agents that encourage peace, such as creating healthy working environments or supportive connections, true peace is something that we nurture from within. There goes that within again. We draw it out when we come across situations that truly try our patience. It's like, ooh, right? Those types of situations. It is inner peace that allows you to walk away from a clash with your, for example, impossible boss, coworker, or that holds you back when you would rather engage in a screaming match with a spouse or family member. Inner peace keeps you from being buried alive by hardships. It allows you to draw on calm when you would rather resort to the default human reaction of anger, frustration, or worry. Tip number 3, engage in frequent self reflection because it plays a huge role in bringing about the peace that you're seeking. To introspect is to take a journey within yourself to discover a lot about what makes you who you are. When you examine yourself and how you deal with stressful situations, it helps you control your emotions and your reactions. Introspection offers you the opportunity to discover what triggers a panic and uncertainty, and also on the flip side, what makes you calm and to stay in a position of power. Tip number 4, understand the role that you play. See, we all play a role in every adverse situation we encounter. Sometimes we are even to blame because of our actions or lack thereof. Often we may even be unaware that we are creating sticky situations that will haunt us later. Other times we are victims of actions or the actions of others, right? Either way, we are participants who either contribute to the situation or we react to it in a nice way. Introspection allows us to step away and examine the part that we play. Let us say that you clash again, this boss example, or with a coworker over a misunderstanding. See, the default reaction is to go on the defensive and point out their shortcomings, right? Well, your boss or coworker will automatically feel challenged and go into the defense, right? And this automatically escalates into an argument. But see, when you draw on your inner peace and you introspect for that split second, you may well discover that you could have gone a different route with that situation, right? To give a clearer picture to prevent any misunderstanding. And I want to be honest, it won't work all the time, but you want to stay in that position of power. You want to stay calm and clear minded so you can address the situation properly. And again, I'm not here um, to say, oh, you should admit guilt or fault for something that was clearly the other person's wrongdoing. Okay. The point I'm trying to get across is that you want to stay in a position of power, meaning you want to remain clear minded, lucy progreso, and not allow your emotions to take over or your ego to take over. So you can clearly understand where the other person is coming from and to make sure they understand clearly where you're coming from. And so you guys to meet in the middle. And there are some instances where it's okay to agree not to disagree as long as we are respectable, there we go, of each other and our beliefs, right? We want to examine, whether you could have played a role. Like, how did you play this role? How did you come across? And how are they seeing you? Now, other people may see you through flawed lens, and that's okay as long as you're clear and you're coming from the truth. Because Orumila says in Oshetura that the truth is the character of Olodumare. It is mighty power. It shall never fail or fall. It's okay to walk away once you've spoken the truth because your truth may not be someone else's truth or the truth at all. Okay? So we want to be mindful and work, a fine line when it comes to it. The key here is you want to respond objectively and stick to the facts and also listen to what the other person is saying and how they're interpreting the situation. Okay? Because a lot of people, Lucy Progreso, love to come from a place of hurt because they don't want to heal. And that's a problem because you're probably not the first person they automatically jump on the defensive or the screaming match and like, whoa, whoa, it's why are you making a mountain out of a molehill? It's just this. You're too eagerly triggered. So now you know how to navigate around that person or pull a me, just completely avoid them like the plague. I don't even go near you. Okay. Tip number 5. Introspection equals self awareness. Introspection is not embarking on a fault finding, victim mentality, lack mentality type of mission for every difficult situation that you find yourself in. It examines not only the bad, but allows you to look at your own victories and successes and your contribution to the good and positive situations also in your life. Peace can also come from knowing that you are doing your best with what you have and how you were brought up, and knowing that it takes time to change certain behaviors, to change certain mindsets that's been ingrained or that has served you in the past. Lucy Progreso. Okay? Self reflection can also help you find motivation to do better from the positive reflections that you're engaging in at that time. Introspection just simply means noticing more about your inner world, especially as it reacts and responds to the external stimuli, whether that is good or bad. Okay. The emphasis on introspection during negative circumstances just helps us approach adversity more calmly and allows us to cultivate inner peace in situations that could truly call for the opposite. The decisions you make based on your approach to hardships or difficulties or, like hiccups in life, regardless of who authored the mess, says a lot about you and your character, right? Introspection is just a unique approach that allows you to examine whether you can avoid an escalation of a situation by being more calmer, kinder, and compassionate, not only to yourself, but to the other party. Tip number 6, start asking yourself the hard questions. Asking yourself the hard and truthful introspective questions about a situation that you've probably found yourself in the past or are currently in will help you unlock and allow you to think before you speak and act. And Ifa speaks about this in the Odu of Ikamehi, the controller, the controller, the controller. See that key word? We want to get things under control. So Ifa speaks about the greatest ebo of ritual or sort of magic, it's magic. Okay, that kind of thing. But it's truly not magic. It's alchemy in a way, is to change the way that you think, speak, and act. And I go by that model in my life. Truthfully speaking, there are times when I do forget it, but you find my ancestors remind me the greatest ebo that one can do is to change the way that you think, speak, and act. Lucy Podreso. If something is not working out for you or you're not gaining your desired result in a situation, one of those three, I almost guarantee, almost 99.9% of the time, is the way you're thinking about that situation, your thought process, your mindset, which is connected to your beliefs, right? Or the way that you're coming across, the way that you're expressing yourself, the way that you are reacting, or what you're doing. That's part of the reacting part. It's one of those three. And then when you have engaged in self reflection and have gone through that mental process and taking the time, and you've seen, hey, for me and my core values, now you have to know what your core values are and your beliefs, because certain core values and beliefs need to be adjusted and changed. So, for the sake of conversation, if your core beliefs, your core values have been adjusted, have been changed, what has been removed, and you're right on track, then it's the other person. So what do you do then? You have to disconnect and end that situation. Okay? So it's not about going on a fault finding, oh, it's this person's fault. Is this person's fault? What do I need to learn from this situation? Is it aligning with my core values and my beliefs? Do I need to change the way that I'm coming across verbally or physically, your verbal and nonverbal communication? Or is it my beliefs? Is it the way that I'm speaking? What am I doing that is causing this person to do this? And when it's not your fault, when you've done that introspection, it's time to cut that relationship loose. It's time to take the steps if you cannot immediately eject that person out of your life. Okay. And also, when we look at the south, to the south, Lucy Progreso, what comes after Ika is Oturupon, the bearer. So Ifa speaks in that Odu that sits in the south, that we don't want to be holding on to emotional garbage. We don't want to be carrying other people's stuff because, like the famous saying say, hurt people hurt people. We don't want to do that. And you don't want to be holding on to that crap of resentment, of anger, because it then transforms into physical illness, like heart problems. Heart problems on a spiritual plane is really connected to holding on to dark emotions, what I call dark emotions, which sits in Oyekume, the averter of death, the averter of death, the averter of death. In a sense, you're avoiding letting something go. You're avoiding ending something that is truly bringing you pain. And it's time to shift and adjust, right? So we have the bearer. What do you want to give birth to? What do you want to get in control in order to bring out a favorable result for you? And also, Lucy Progreso in that'll do the bear in the south. Ifa speaks about learning to endure, to go through certain things because the universe may be testing you. And when you feel like you've reached your threshold, it's time to shift and adjust in a different way. This is a part of initiation, to begin again, not with the same crap, Ifa says. What is that crap? The same mindset, the same beliefs, the same way of behaving, because one of those three or all three needs adjustment, needs to change to bring about the life or the way of life that you want to live. Okay? And it also will have to save you or will save you from a world of regret or apologizing for things that you shouldn't have said in the heat of a moment. You see, the practice of regular self reflection will nurture peace in any environment, no matter how hostile it seems. Tip number 7, let's learn how to engage in self reflection, aka introspection. Find a quiet space to reflect, somewhere that allows you to think without interruption. You can even take a short walk to the park, for example, or by the beach. Start asking yourself the hard questions about your thought process, your feelings, and responses to certain scenarios. Pause and thoroughly think them through and write your answers down or jot them down in your notepad on your phone. But I want you to truly be honest with yourself, not harsh, honest. Okay? Capturing your responses helps you evaluate your own thoughts or feelings. Study your responses and draw a conclusion about your character or your behavior in different circumstances you're reflecting on at that time. Then, when that's all said and done, make a commitment to improve where need be. And to be honest, this will not be seen or done overnight, nor the next day, nor the same day. It takes time and it takes practice. You will fall off the bandwagon from time to time. What's important is that you recognize that, have awareness. There goes that self awareness key again. And then you get back on that horse and try. It takes practice and it takes time. Okay? So, here are some of the main takeaways on today's topic. Number 1, peace can only truly come from within. While we have external agents that encourage peace, such as practicing a certain healing or exercising modality, creating healthy work environments, healthy home environments, joining supportive social connections or groups, true peace is something that we nurture from within. Number 2, make peace your greatest ally. Through peace, we bring calm to circumstances that would truly call for frustration. This is the way we maintain sanity amidst the chaos and the storms. Number 3, learn to self reflect to gain more self control. When you examine yourself and how you deal with stressful situations, it helps you control your emotions and your reactions. It offers you the opportunity to discover what triggers panic, fear, anger, uncertainties, all those unpleasant feelings. But also on the flip side, it helps you to learn how to remain calm and what works for you. Again, peace is eternal. I cannot stress that enough. So you can truly cultivate it by becoming more self aware. Okay? So it is time that we spend understanding our thoughts that allows us to control our responses to situations, no matter how negative they are. Okay. So now that you've gotten some new tools under your belt, I hope you are ready to apply what you've just learned. I truly hope so. By the way, I've created a workbook to go along with today's subject to help you get a jump start on creating and implementing real lasting change in your life. You can find your free copy in the description box below. And if you would need more help, you know where you can find me at themoralcompass.com, where I'll provide more tips and tricks to help you on your personal journey. Also, if you're new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you a part of the family, and I'll catch you on the next video. Iboru, Iboya, Ibochiche, and stay blessed, my loves.